because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm with the man who headlines Sky Sports this Friday night, live at York against Mariusz Wach. Do you think this would have gone down really well if that whole situation with Wardley wouldn't have happened, Frazer?
Possibly not. Yeah, you can't please everyone. That's what I've learned. You know, I know it's a good fight. You know, I know it's a good opponent. I know it's a difficult fight as well. Believe me, there'll be times in there where, you know, I've got to use my brain and I'll have to answer a few questions. But that's the stage of my career I'm at. What
sort of fight are you expecting from Wach, who's been around the heavyweight scene for ages?
Yeah, I think he'll come and he'll try and apply pressure to me, you know, and try and make mistakes. He's got a lot more experience than me. So it's about me being calm, being calculated and doing my job.
Frazer, is it scheduled for 8 rounds? Is that right?
10.
Is it scheduled for 10?
10, yeah.
Okay. So obviously a lot of the talk was about, you know, you not having enough rounds in a professional circuit. What if you go in there and wipe him out in 2 or 3 rounds?
What can you do? You can't do nothing about it, can you? I don't think he's the kind of opponent that's going to fall over after 2 or 3 rounds. You know what I mean? I think he's a solid and he's a proud person. But if that happens, fantastic for me. Then it's up to them again to sort of go through the old problem of has he done enough rounds, has he not? Listen, I don't know what they think I do at the gym every day. I don't know what they think I'm in the gym doing, fucking counting the mushy peas or what. But no, I'm in there working properly.
So, you know, you're expecting a decent Mariusz Wach to turn up this Friday night.
He had a fight last week and won. 5th round stoppage, so he's active.
So, yeah, potentially this could go 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, it could go the distance. Could end in 1 minute. Could end heavyweight boxing. You just don't know.
Okay. How have you dealt with everything over the last few weeks? Is it out your system now?
Yeah, it was difficult. I had 10 days. I've got no problem in telling people how difficult them 10 days was. I've never really experienced it, but when people talk about the mental health thing and the online stuff, and it's really bad for you, know, because I like to think of myself as quite a headstrong person, but when you hear so much bad shit about yourself and so much lies about yourself and you read enough of it, it can take you to a pretty dark place. But lucky enough, I got great people around me and I made the right stuff. I was able to flip out of it, get back in the gym, and I was glad that Mariusz was mentioned straight away, so I had someone to concentrate on him.
That's good to hear. Now, you know, with the situation that happened, you won't be mandated for at least a year. That is the minimum length. So I know coming into this game with your background, your pedigree, the British title wasn't the be or end all. So what is the route that yourself, 258 and Boxer are looking at now for yourself?
I think first and foremost, Mariusz Wach, obviously take care of that situation. Then we'll sit down again. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, that's as the saying goes. I still predict I'll fight for the British title before a year. I still predict that happens.
Is that because of your draw? Is that because of your draw? Someone's going to make an offer?
Yeah. I remember this. I'm not a big-headed geezer. I'm not. I don't flaunt it or nothing like that. But it's become quite apparent that the domestic heavyweight British fighter to fight, if they want to get more money and some attention, is me. What can't speak can't lie. Fabio's had his most attention ever from that little debacle with me. Adeleye, me and him did a little back and forth. He got no more than he was ever known, you know. So, you know, they're not daft, and obviously they know that the numbers are with Sky and stuff like this, and the fight's there. Big fights are there with me on Sky.
Well, I asked David Adeleye, you know, if you see Frazer in person, he's going to slap you. And his response was, no, he's not going to slap me. He's just not going to, period.
No, I'm not going to slap him. I'm not going to slap David Adeleye. What I said was arguing going back and forth. I said, I'll give you a slap. Obviously, that comes out in context. I'm not going to walk up to a man and slap him. I've got nothing but respect from him, what he does. He's another fighter, competitor. But if we ever got into it, obviously, he's a grown man, I'm a grown man. The hands will be thrown, do you know what I mean? I think there is that little bit of spite and needle there between us after that conversation. But there wasn't before, but it's probably just massive egos, you know. He's got an ego, I've got an ego.
Do you welcome him to come this Friday night?
If he wants to come, he can come. It makes zero difference to me. Not one bit of difference. If he wants to come down, He'll just walk straight in. There'll be a seat there for him. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. My life don't revolve around fucking David Adeleye, do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Did you watch him though the other night?
Yeah, I watched him, yeah. Did alright. Didn't set the world alight, but that's heavyweight boxing, you know. I predict he's better than he's shown. I definitely think he's better than that. But he did his job. There's good things to take away, I'm sure. There's things he'll want to work on. And I'm sure that'll be the same for me on Saturday. There'll be things I'll do well. There'll be things I want to work on when I watch it back. But listen, I'm pretty sure now that we're on our own paths, me and him, but then paths will cross.
Frazer, do you feel like starting from Friday night, a few good performances and a few statements from yourself, you'll get some of the British public back on your side?
No one with any sense ever left.
What's that? Say that
No
again?
one with any sense ever left my side. You know, like, people know it wasn't me that didn't want to fight. And yeah, I think, you know, from what I can gather, people are behind me, and if they're not, they're more than welcome to it. Love me or hate me, just come watch and buy a ticket because it'll be entertaining.
See you there Friday night. Top man. Thank you, Frazer.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,